Okay, let's talk about jumping, the ability to jump, and generally speaking, the fear of jumping that enters into the equation. So, when I was 12 years old, back in the 80s, they used to build parks with structures that were 20 feet in the air, and it would take 2 or 3 minutes to climb up to the top of them. And then they just have this giant empty hole, 20-foot drop, and a bunch of sand. Now, eventually you work up the courage just to, jump out of that sucker, almost break your ankles, get up, think it's cool, try it all over again. Parks aren't made that way anymore for a reason. Parents keep telling their kids, get off of this, stop doing that, stop jumping, stop climbing over stuff, stop. And by the time you're an adult, and you're walking from your car to the grocery store, around this bush, around that bush, oh, it's so pretty right at the grocery store. You forget how to jump on things. If you're going to ever fall, you had better learn how to catch yourself. What happens when you turn 60, 70, 80? You become highly coordinated, highly immobile for the most part. You ever watch a 5-year-old run? It's like chaos. It's hyper-fluid, poor coordination. You ever watch an 80-year-old walk? It's like this. Super coordinated, lacks fluidity. As we age, we trade fluidity for coordination. And somewhere in the middle of that, around people's 30s and 40s, they start becoming scared to jump. And to me, if you lose the ability to jump off the curb or jump onto the curb or jump up 2 stairs or whatever it is, you're losing something very, very important. Okay? And I train tons of 50-year-olds, and it's hilarious, and not in a funny way, it's hilarious to themselves actually, as to why it's so terrifying to jump up to something 6 inches. So let me show you. First off, don't be trying to jump on something like this. Okay? Jump onto what you honestly feel safe jumping onto. Okay? For most people, I think you should start at the curb of the street. Okay, so most stairs are about 8 to 9 inches. This is a 6-inch plyo box. First thing I would suggest so your body gets an idea of how high that is step onto whatever you're going to be jumping onto. It gives you depth perception. So your body learns a lot about how high it thinks it is by stepping onto it. So if you're scared to jump onto something, first stand on top of it. Also, I rarely jump down off of things after doing a box jump. Okay? So can I jump onto this? First thing, I should use my arms and I should land. The worst, when somebody's terrified of jumping, they need to get to the ground immediately. So it looks like this. They're just scared to leave the ground. Don't jump down onto something, jump up to something. Don't sound like an elephant when you land. That's the most important thing. Don't blow your joints. Don't shoot your kneecap through the wall. Can you jump and absorb very gracefully? I can't tell you how important that is to keep in your life. Next time you go walk through the grocery store, don't trample all over the plants. They won't be happy about that. But try jumping over stuff. Point A to point B is the fastest way to get to the grocery store. I refuse to let some bushes and shrubs that I can jump over get in the way. Okay. Can I jump down from that? Or can I do that? Most people that fall and break their hip when they're in their 80s fall off of very small structures. They're not falling off of their couch. They're not falling off of a 10-foot ladder. They're falling off of a small step because they lose depth perception and boom, they fall. Being able to absorb force is super, super important. So, say I'm standing on something 6 inches, 8 inches, a stair, it doesn't matter what it is. Can I, okay, that's called a depth jump, not that that terribly matters. Once you've mastered that, start working at things that are a little bit higher. I don't think there's a necessity for general population to really be able to jump more than 12 inches. If you want to, go ahead, I think it's awesome. But only if you're controlling it and it's a perfect landing. So, I can take a 24-inch box and land very softly. If you can't land softly, you shouldn't be going higher. I can also absorb that. okay? I can't tell you how many times I trip over fitness equipment in a day. Something I left behind me. It's a big gym, I got lots of room, I trip over stuff all day long. I rarely fall because I'm like, whoa, whoa. And that's how I'm gonna save myself from breaking my hip or rolling my ankle. Try jumping on something 6 inches, okay? Try jumping on and off the curb of your street. If you've lost that, get it back.